Satellarknight. Clearly, I mean, one of the best cards in the deck. Constantly gains hand advantage. Run at 3. Altar. 3 altar. Pull stuff out of grave using it, or normally from hand, using calls.
Yep.
It's so quick. You just go into any rank 4 easily. 3 Unkali. He's the beater of the deck. Highest attack out of all the tellers. Well, except for the one that I don't run, but that doesn't matter. He puts stuff in grave, which is great for Temple of the Kings coming back. First turn, play Temple of the Kings, normal Unkali, put Deneb or whatever you need in hand, I guess it depends. Set your calls, play it that turn. 2 Vega.
Now, why 2?
That way you have 1 in hand. That way you can constantly have a search target in deck, because it's not the main thing you're going to go for. But you can also use it from grave. So that way you can still get your normal and play out on your turns and everything. Say, like, you want a normal to Neb. You don't have much in grave. Normal to Neb, go into, say, Unkali. That way you can have Vega in grave, call the Haunted, special Vega, special Unkali, get another target in grave.
Now, what are your thoughts on running 1?
I used to run 1. I think 2 at the moment is a little better, mainly because if 1 were to get banished or one's you're constantly going into rank 4s. If 1's being used at that moment, you still have another target, just for the moment. It's easy to side out a second one.
Now, I've seen a lot of people say they'd rather have it in deck or graveyard than in hand. How do you feel about that?
Depends on the turn. First turn, I mean, having it in hand, you can set up immediately.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I run that too is just so I can see it a little bit more first turn.
Yeah.
Max C. Max C at the moment I think is really good to main. Get you the extra draw power, a lot of deck special. Not so useful against Clifford's because I mean they only special once per turn.
Yeah.
Same with Thunder King. Another high attack beater, but he also stops. The special summon part is nice, but he also stops searching, which kills Clifford's.
Now, what if wouldn't that do damage to you with the Neb?
Well, if I'm going to use Thunder King Ryo, more than likely I've already set up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a decent sized field. That way I can normal Thunder King and then Vanities and sit on it.
Would you rather have him like early in the game or later in the game?
Usually later, depending on hand. Second to third turn, getting him isn't bad. Because like I said, you can just get the Vanities, get Thunder King out, sit on it, you got him locked.
Okay.
I thought your back row was
That's it for monster count.
Oh, how much monster count?
And then when you
what, 13?
Well, I could have OTK'd in that turn.
Yeah, 13.
You like it at 13?
Yeah, I don't run the Honest. I think drawing it late game is terrible.
Yeah.
Can definitely kill.
Agreed.
3 Rhoda. Again, staple, deck thinner, get your cards in hand.
Definitely.
3 MST. Really good at the moment. Not so much for back row, but for a little bit of stun and slowing down Clifforts.
Yeah, shutting Clifforts down with their pendulum slums.
Yeah. Book of Moon. Obvious reasons. Plus, you can get, like, if you call the Haunted, special one of your tellers on their turn, get the search, get the special, whatever you need, and then Book of Moon, use it again on your turn.
Nice.
Raigeki clears field, either gets rid of problem monsters or sets up for OTKs.
Which is what's been going on with the new meta right now, clearing up the board.
Yeah.
Play a lot of
Dualities, great for early game. Late game, it's a little dead, depending on your situation. Just helps get cards in hand.
Yeah.
Jack Fins a little bit. Temple of the Kings. Such a good card. So glad it's back. Temple of the Kings, not only early game with Unkali, using Call the Haunted first turn. Trevere. If you Trevere loop, special Trevere, bounce everything back to hand. Clear board, make them discard. Play Temple of the Kings, set your stuff, and you can immediately go back into Call the Haunted. And depending on what you have, you can make the Trevere loop, where you can constantly make them discard their entire hand that turn.
Oh, damn.
But also, it helps you to get in a little bit more damage or setup for a lock. Great card. Definitely happy to see it back.
So you're happy to sit back and see Snatch Steal go by?
Yeah, Snatch Steal was broken. I mean, you could set up perfect board, clear everything your opponent has, and then they top deck Snatch Steal.
Yeah, and then it'd just be game. It wins games.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Spell count.
But he wants his bones to accelerate in the graveyard.
Yeah, but I mean, if you hit a card that he wants to save,
Alright.
make you
for the most part.
anything else.
So you run high traps?
high traps, of course. I mean, it's Satellarknights.
Agreed. Based off the traps.
I mean, it's tellers. You want to run basically 5 call.
Yep. 2 Oasis and 3 calls.
I mean, the worm effect off of Oasis doesn't really matter. For the most part, extra deck, you're just going into either light monsters or level 4s. The only specific one for the most part is like Blade Armor. Needs Warriors. Not that bad though. 3 Alpha.
Agreed. Staple.
Great staple. I mean, you get the draw, you get your stuff engraved, you stun them. Fantastic.
I stole it, right?
3 Fiendish. Obviously, again, slows your opponent, locks them down so they can't attack, stops their effects, and then Trevere Loop, constantly recycle these.
Yeah. Do you think Fiendish Chain is coming back? Is being more used now? Do you think?
A little bit, not for the most part, mainly because a lot of the current decks at the moment don't run that much back row.
Yeah.
They're kind of waning away from it. I think Tellarknights are a little hidden at the moment.
Which they should be coming back.
Yeah, as soon as Star Seraph come out.
Oh yeah.
2 Mind Crush. I did run 3, I just needed to make a little bit of room. I think at 3 this is still an excellent card. Sets up, you can either use it to get rid of your opponent's hand, like Clifford's constantly search, you can get rid of their stuff, so stop their plays.
Yeah.
Or, if you don't know what they have, you just want to make sure you can kind of set up, like first turn, set this, see their hand, that way you can know what you're in for. Plus, if you have something in hand that you need engraved. So like, say you have like a Vega in hand and then like Unkali, Altair, stuff like that. And you can play from it, better if it's engraved. Play Mind Crush, call some bullshit card, I mean Blue Eyes. And then you have to discard because you got it wrong. Unless for some reason they have a Blue Eyes in some random deck. Discard, and then call the Haunted.
Yeah.
Mirror Force.
Agreed.
I think it's starting to come back a little bit. 1, I can see it at 2. I wouldn't run it at 3, takes up a little bit too much room.
Definitely.
1, simply because I do have such a high count. If I put in more, it's just going to slow me down. I'm already running 41 cards.
Especially with Danko. Danko can shut you down.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not seeing Danko as much.
Yeah,
it's a high price card because it can stop these decks, but I mean, it's not. It came back for like a week, went away. I'm sure it'll be back again.
Definitely. Agreed.
Torrential. Can hurt the deck, obviously, because you're going to have full field.
But it builds up graveyard too.
But it does build up graveyard. You can get off Trevere or Deltaros effects. Plus, for decks like Yosinju, or hard times during like Cliff Orts or Shadollas when they just start going off. Compulse, get your own stuff back to hand or slow your opponent down. Vanities, hurts the deck a little bit depending on your situation, but you can also set up blocks with it.
Now, if it didn't get limited, would you run more than 1?
Yeah, I did run 2 and sided 1, so that way I constantly had it just in case. Mirror Match, having 3 of these.
Yeah, okay, I can see it against Mirror Match.
Yeah.
Agreed. So you said
41 cards.
41 cards. Are you happy with the deck?
17 traps.
17?
Yeah, I'm very happy with the deck. I mean, I've been running it a while. Again, it's a deck that's a little under the radar, but
I think it'll come back after the Banlist, after April 1st.
Yeah,
Especially with Diamond.
a little bit. They also have the new rank 4 coming out that's going to have some plays that's going to go into more rank 5s rather than rank 4s. That and Seraphs are coming out. When Seraphs come out, they're splash pullable with every deck. I think their Tellers are one of the best with them.
Yeah.
Extra deck Blade Armor sets up games, helps you get over a little bit of like full flooded fields, not really
Definitely.
high powered monsters. Gandiva, nice in the mirror match, slows down some plays, depending on your situation. Deltaros, pop a card, get your specials from deck. I'm probably going to put this back at 2 after Seraphs come out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Scepter and then Deltaros, you can pop everything on board, get constant draws off of it. Currently, though, Trevere. 2 Trevere. You can loop, make your opponent discard, and then Temple of the Kings. If you were to have like 3 calls, which is easy to get, I mean, you run 5.
Easily, yeah.
3 calls out, Trevere once, bounce everything. Make your opponent discard, Temple of the Kings, replay the calls. Get Trevere again, and just keep going.
Constantly going.
And then, I mean, then you can just put in damage, they have no hand.
So would you move it back up to 3? Would you move it to 3?
Trevere, I think it's pretty solid at 2. I mean, I can get it back from Grave.
True, call, stuff like that.
Call, Altair. I mean, there's plenty of ways. Plus, I always bounce Trevere with Trevere.
Yeah.
I don't think 3 is really necessary. One card I have been thinking about putting to 2, Diamond. I don't think I'm gonna put him 2, mainly because I'm not seeing as much use out of him. He slows down Lightsworn and Shadows really well, obviously.
Yeah.
And he has great potential for certain decks, and he shuts down stuff. But then again, I don't run into those decks all the time, so he's not always called for.
Yeah. Agreed.
101, Problem Monsters.
Staple.
Emerald, again, another staple. Get some of your stuff back to deck, get cards off of him.
Would still go to my grave.
Exton, Clear Field.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cowboy, just for game, piss
Yep.
people off. Castell, I think, is a fantastic card, better than 101, because you can get rid of any problem face-up card.
Yes.
Plus, you can also use his first effect to set your stuff back face down to get their effects again.
Even if you're facing Shaddolls, place that window down just face down for that turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paladino. Deals with some problem monsters, like if you don't have an out to like Beal, stuff like that. Helps a little bit, plus you can get in a little bit of damage.
Agreed.
Omega, if you're great for fuck, I can't talk. Great for mirror match.
Yes.
So much back row you don't have to worry about it as much.
Because
Either
that
that
can't
or
touch it.
yeah, either that or they have to work to get around it, waste some materials.
26, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think no 24. My bad. Abyss Dweller, I don't see as much use out of him because I have more outs. Still a fantastic card, slows down stuff like Shadows, stuff like that.
The graveyard base.
Tsukuyomi, new card that I put in. Such a good card. I recommend it in any Satellarknight deck. You can get grave advantage, hand advantage, because I mean, if you like Vega, Deneb, search Altair, and you have a call.
Yeah.
Set the call, Tsukuyomi, discard Altair. Immediate setup. Because then you can detach with detach the Deneb, discard the Altair, draw 2. Graves immediately set up, you're good.
Would you change any of this?
Some of the stuff I've been changing out, some here and there. For the most part, I think it's pretty solid. I am going to switch it up a little bit after some of the new stuff comes out. Number 86, as soon as that card comes out. Heroic Champion, Rhino something with a face.
Oh, yeah.
That, especially with Star Seraphs, it's just going to change
Star
games.
Seraphs are going to make this deck come back up again. Because
Yeah,
they're
'cause I mean-
constantly...
They constant hand advantage, field advantage. You're good. Obviously full extra deck.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Side deck still needs a little bit of work.
Especially with the ban list coming out, trying to adjust with
obviously.
everything. Yes.
I actually think I still have vanities in here. Yeah. The second Maxi, just for especially stuff like mirror match, anything that special summons a
Maxi
lot.
challenge. Yep.
Yeah. Make him take the challenge or quit.
Yep.
2 Veilers. I took them out for a while, but I really like them for certain things. I obviously, Torgai got hit, and this was great against it, but it is slowing them down. For stuff like Necros, Lancia, or Spiritual Beast, slows them down a little bit. Spell Shattering, I run at 1, get a little bit of extra damage in, take care of some back row problems. Shared Ride, fantastic card. It's basically maxi for Clifforts and Necros.
Definitely.
Defusion, I don't use as much, mainly because
Heroes.
just heroes, and then
Shaddolls.
Shaddolls.
Yes.
Just take care of some of their stuff. Fairy Wind, obvious reasons. I definitely cut it back, especially since Clifforts got hit.
Definitely.
Bottomless sided, just for depending on the deck. The third Mind Crush,
Give him the win, Jacob. You lost already.
Vanities,
Yeah.
and then Deep Dark. Deep Dark's nice for some things, like again Shadows.
Yeah, bringing
Helps
out
get
those
rid of
synchros.
some like window because it doesn't destroy.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that'd be it for your Stellars, man. Hell yeah.